2, 1. From Boston, Massachusetts to Adelaide, Australia, and everywhere in between. Talking local and national sports and just about anything discussed in a tavern. Broadcasting from South Lyon, Michigan. Welcome to Easy Speak at Speakeasy 330 with your hosts, Rich and Tom.
We are back. What is going on?
What's up, Bubba?
How you doing?
Doing good.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Look at we got you on your own screen and everything.
I know I'm a little nervous.
I mean, hey, nothing to be nervous about. So, Tom,
Yeah, we're.
how you feeling today?
I'm feeling
Feeling vaccinated?
a little sore,
You feeling a little vaccinated?
but I'm feeling good.
Is it better than a beef injection, or is it?
Well, I mean,
Did
we
they,
won't
give,
go
did they give
there.
you that hat when you got the shot today?
and I didn't get I've been vaccinated either sticker like when you go vote. But no, today I got the first dose
Good.
and went down to the.
I go tomorrow.
Went down to the Billy Bowl, Ford Field.
Oh, Billy Bowl.
And great operation. It's all FEMA, so it's all military, and it's just they're like a well-oiled machine. We were in and out of there in 20 minutes, and it was 15 of it was they made you stick around so you didn't fall out, because there's people think that you're gonna die from taking the vaccine, but we won't go there. But no, so we were in and out in 20 minutes, and I got a little bit of a Charlie horse where they stuck the needle in.
Yeah.
But
Did you have to drop trousers to get that done, or was that something that you?
no, that was I just removed my coat.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
it's,
By any chance, did they offer you? Did they offer you this by any chance?
got his cock clean. No,
No.
that might be on the
get the
opening
whistle
day
cleaned up?
package they're going to be giving away tomorrow.
Oh,
Is there
So-
another line for that when you're down there? Or?
Well, I think that's the Jasper line. That's the one.
Whoa,
that's-
whoa! Oh, they ain't no Jasper line right there.
That's a special
Big
line.
J out in
Yeah.
front.
Uh-huh.
Really,
JJ.
I'm just asking.
really big J out front.
Well,
There-
whatever.
There's
Yeah.
a J and it says hey,
Hey.
but no.
Look at the look on my face right now.
You look,
Mhm.
Really?
See, he can
Really?
dish it out, but he
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know
just get a
what?
little
Hey,
bucket. That's
hey,
it.
you know what? Hey, we could go after this all
Oh yeah,
all
yeah.
fucking day long.
Of course.
So anyway, so we got our man Derek here. Some people call him Derek. I happen to call him Bubba.
Bubba.
Bubba's an old friend, and when I mean by old friend, we're going back 20 years. It's been
20
some,
plus.
it's been some time. It's
It's
definitely been some time.
been-
He's a fan of the show. I mean, so that's always nice to have.
Mhm. Nice.
We got some fanboys coming on and everything
For
like
sure.
that. So
I'm getting a tattoo next week.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Right
I
across
hope
my heart
not.
Right here.
Oh, I
is,
hope
what, is
not.
what is it gonna say?
Easy speak, follow life.
TBD.
TBD.
It's definitely it's
It's
gonna be
gonna look
TBD.
good, though. It's gonna look good.
Oh yeah, that's good. I'm glad. I'm really glad it's gonna look good.
I got a real good guy from Lincoln Park who's gonna put it on there.
Oh, from the mean streets
the
of
main
LP.
streets.
Oh, Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park.
Wow, you're really churching it up around
You
here.
know me.
Okay. So, but in serious, before we really dive into something very serious in Michigan basketball, but I do want to talk about something. I heard it was a explosive night, Sunday night here at the bathrooms of the Easy Speak. Would you like to talk about that, Tom?
So your information is wrong.
Oh, so it was not an explosive night.
No. The reviews were grossly over exaggerated. There was no explosions going on. I was not gripping the handles, lifting off the seat, we'll say.
So for our listeners, can you please explain to them exactly who decided to torture yourself?
This we're going.
This wasn't in my notes, so I'm
No,
excited.
no.
No.
I don't remember writing this
not,
one.
Not in your notes. Not in your notes.
This is on the other list.
Hey, remember how I always said we like to kind of like we kind of jump off the rails as we call it, but
Free ball it.
we like to just kind of go like this. This is something that just popped up, and I know for a fact that there's going to be somebody on here that's going to be very interested to find out exactly what went down. So, Tom, please explain.
Well, I decided after a couple of weeks of drinking a little bit more than usual and eating a little bit more than usual, I took a bottle of magnesium citrate. And prior to doing so, there were some reviews that we read that were rather egregious and full of detail.
Oh my God.
So there was slight hesitation on my part whether or not I wanted to go through with it,
Oh man.
because I know what I've been ingesting in my body, and
Oh my God.
I feared what might end up coming out. But
Dude, the look on your face, Derek, is hilarious.
I don't know if I feel bad for you or your asshole. I can't figure out which one I feel worse for.
well,
Oh my
have
God.
no fear. Have no fear.
Did you get the baby ointment?
No,
on
no.
there?
See, I took it about midnight. And it was very tart. It was grape. It was a little bit thicker than I would have liked, but so it took me about 10 minutes to stomach down 10 ounces of this stuff.
Oh my
Um,
God.
And within half an hour, there was some gurgling going on. Some definitely there were some things being moved around inside.
So let's go on and just really say you're not a regular guy. Like me, I'm
No.
a regular
Oh,
guy.
dude,
I'm like,
I'm at like 7:30 in the morning,
Nope.
like every morning.
it's,
boom.
I mean, for me, it's like 6 o'clock. It's like 10:30, and then maybe at dinner time. This guy,
No.
he's not as regular as we
Really?
like to. No.
even
No.
drinking the Miller Lite. You're not
I,
just
uh,
regular
Miller
with that?
Miller Lite is a very new
Yeah, this
tap
Okay.
for us
this
now.
is new
Shut
to
in.
Speakeasy.
Okay.
No, I like to consider my asshole being like a brick wall.
Okay.
So there's times where it's not as easy as I would like. So back to the Sunday evening escapade.
So
Oh,
two
man.
questions before you get going first. You said you've been drinking a lot of, a couple of pops here and there. What did you eat leading up to this event?
Oh shit, I'm not sure. I think we might have had pizza or something like that prior to it.
Philly steak and cheese.
You're right. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
From,
we made some.
No, from
Oh,
the
from here,
Blackstone
from
over
the
there.
Blackstone,
Yeah,
okay,
from the
okay.
Blackstone.
I noticed that.
And they're good, but I think what his big problem is that all that cheese that he puts on that Philly,
Just
it
bind your right up?
bound him
Oh
up.
sure.
Oh,
So, dude, it was
oh.
like taking a sledgehammer to steel, trying to bust that trap door open.
So,
Okay.
like I was saying, there was a lot of gurgling, there was a lot of movement, but I would say there was four times that I made a visit, we'll
Maybe old
say,
boom boom.
to the commode, and
Okay.
and nothing to the point where I needed to call 911 or
And
yell for help.
10 milligrams you took of that?
That was 10 ounces.
10.
10 ounces, the bottle. Yeah. Well, it did say 6.5 to 10 ounces.
Dude,
So
I'm gonna tell you right now, for me, it would be like the was it Dumb and Dumber, the what where they're younger, and Bob Saget is just like there's shit everywhere. That would have been my house.
Yes.
no,
That would
I
have
was
been my house.
For sure.
I'm going to say this right now. I was disappointed. I was expecting
So you
to
were
have.
disappointed you took 10 ounces of it and went 4 times after midnight.
It was
on
four.
Sunday?
It was 4 times in probably an 8-hour span. It was not anything to write home about.
We're
We'll
going to
say,
donate
or
this guy to science. I can't believe it.
Oh, dude, I mean, I tell you right now, I personally,
I couldn't walk.
it would have been a disaster.
well, let me tell you what it does do. There's no solidness whatsoever. It felt like
No, like it was like the river runs through it.
it looked like you went up to a mud hole and took a bucket full and just dumped it right in.
Wow.
That's
So-
terrible.
That's
But,
that's horrendous.
That
I
is- I
just-
mean,
But I don't think I jarred anything loose. I don't think.
so what you're saying is you were not like the woman in Kingpin where she says, "Well, Tiger really knocked something loose
That's
in there."
exactly what I was shooting for. You picked up what I was putting down.
Oh,
no,
man.
no, and some of the reviews said there was some vomiting going on. So it was coming out of both ends. That did not happen.
Okay, that's good.
So I would say it was a little bit more aggressive than taking a laxative.
Okay.
But with a laxative, you get like gut pains. This
Yeah,
was
yeah,
nothing.
that's good.
It was easier than I thought. enough so that
how
I.
has it been since?
Oh, just fine.
Just
Yeah,
are you
I mean,
more regular
it's-
now, or do you need another injection?
I'm probably going to go for round 2 at the end of the weekend, but
Really?
yeah.
What day is this?
Round.
It'll be probably Sunday.
We're gonna talk
Sunday?
about it. We're gonna talk about it next Wednesday.
So there might be.
Do you want to come back on next
I
Wednesday?
think I kind of do.
You want to come back?
There's a good chance that there's round 2 happens Sunday. Going to be eating a
Oh
lot.
my
of
God.
food this weekend.
Oh my.
I
Hey,
think
listen here.
we should get you some White Castle to ingest
Oh,
on Sunday. We'll get a bomb.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So,
it's Easter though. I don't
hey,
think they're
hey,
open.
we can do that. Get the microwavable ones.
Fuck that. I'm not eating those.
Oh, well, yeah,
Those
we'll
are-
get the
those-
microwavable.
those-
We're going down to the hood to get them, man.
Oh,
We're
you
gonna
know
get them right
what?
from the hood.
You know
bring
what?
them back over
Wonderland
here.
Mall.
Oh, for sure.
You know
Right
where
down the road.
you know where we got to go? Samson's, which is we need to go to what's there's a it's almost like a Bates burger shop off like Evergreen. And
Oh,
I mean it's like in the dude, it is like hood.
Yes.
That's where we need to go.
Yes.
Or we
There's
can
one at Wyoming and
talk about Telway?
yeah, Telway. Yeah.
Oh man, dude, Telway is a killer. Telway is an absolute killer. You don't even need, you know what? You don't even need laxatives after that.
No.
Slippity doo
I,
dah.
I
or
swear to
slippity
you,
poo dah.
I quit eating those White Castles about 10 years ago. We got the ones over by Wonderland Mall.
Can I make a comment?
yeah.
It doesn't show.
You're an asshole.
Thanks, Rich.
I love you, buddy.
I'm glad you had me on today just to get that out.
What a real piece of shit that
Real
Rich
piece-
Jasper.
Dick bag. What a big dick bag. So about 10 years ago, we were drinking, going at it real good. We got the White Castles over there by Wonderland.
Crave case.
Got the Crave case, just demolished it. For 3 days, my fart smelled like White Castle.
Oh,
I almost got
hey.
divorced out of the whole deal.
Oh,
It's
well.
crazy.
You almost got divorced out of
Marie
it.
kicked me out of the house.
No.
Oh, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was not good. So we'll get you some White Castles and
Oh,
then
you know what? That sounds
the
really good.
magnesium.
That sounds really good right now.
Hey, Craver, if you can hear this message, if you're in the South Line area and you're not selling houses, you are more than welcome to come on and talk some hockey with us. That's a fact. I should have changed the camera angle of this. And if
Yeah.
you ever want to come on, just let me know. Shoot me a message. We'll have you on.
We always enjoy having guests on the
Oh.
show, and it kind of gives different perspectives. of what
Justin
we
said
were-
this is the shit show, literally.
the shit
yeah.
show review.
Literally.
Sorry, JP. You
You figure if this guy should be at work right now, but this is the guy chiming in. So this is Andre the Giant, JP.
JP the Giant.
Big meat eaters.
JP's in quarantine right
Is he really?
now. Yeah. Yeah, he's in quarantine.
Well, fuck you, JP. All right. So anyway, let's talk about Michigan basketball. Hey, you know what?
Oh, by the way, there's 4 others at Contractor Steel that are in quarantine. So
Oh, you know what?
my main man, Joe Lara, is gonna have a rough night tonight.
So let me do this real quick. Let me. You guys keep talking, and I'm gonna do something here. I'm actually gonna send JP the link.
Oh, we're gonna get JP on the show.
I'm just gonna copy this right here.
Look at you go.
I'm,
When did you come so mechanically inclined to do this stuff?
dude, don't even.
I
Do
gotta
that.
Jasper
get- I
is
gotta
quite
get my
tech savvy.
6-year-old even to get me online. I don't understand.
Oh. That's why I've turned to just doing the show notes because I don't understand all this.
Let's go to Facebook only.
All this
on
other
the Easy
stuff.
Speak page.
But yeah, it was.
Chat.
Not good.
It wasn't. What,
Hey JP, the link is up there. Go ahead and hit it,
it
and
wasn't
we'll
what I had
patch you in.
expected.
Okay.
So,
I mean, Rich was right. He's looking over at me, and I'm just going. I couldn't imagine taking a sip of that stuff. It
Yeah.
would just be over with. I
It-
couldn't handle it.
So you ever drink or when take Diamond Tap when you were a kid or something? It's like a cough medicine.
Dude, the guy's from Redford. He can't afford Diamond
Well,
Tap.
they had the generic
Exactly.
generic
Poor,
tap.
very poor.
But it was like grape flavored. It
Okay.
kind of tasted like that. But the first few sips, it was manageable. But then toward the end, it wasn't doing too well. So
I'm sorry, Tom.
that's hey,
I learned a little bit about you today, and
The shitty end of him.
the
Yeah.
bad end of it,
The shitty end,
of it,
yeah.
for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
you're a great guy.
Well-
I don't know that I needed to hear that today, Rich, but I'm glad you're okay after taking that much.
oh
That's
yeah,
all I
it
can
was
say.
fine.
He'll live.
Well, clearly, I mean, he's
Believe
doing
me, he'll
fine.
live.
I
Yeah.
was back to eating more Philly steak and cheese the next day.
And yeah. Why am I not surprised on that one?
We had leftovers. I had to finish it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So anyway, let's get back to the brass taxes here. So Michigan lost by 2 points yesterday. And Tom, I'd like you, since I get up at 4:30 in the morning, and well, we're not going to say what time you get up, but anyway, you probably sit up and watched it the entire time.
I probably went to bed when you were getting up. Yes. So we'll start off by congratulating the Bruins of UCLA,
Which, by the way, beat Michigan State.
You did.
what they've been able
Handily.
to accomplish in this term run. They're only the second team in the first four era to start the first four and actually make the Final Four. The first being VCU with the shaved head Shaka Smart in 2011. So what they've been able, who's now the head coach of Marquette, Texas didn't like that he grew hair because he sucked as a coach, so he moves on. So what they've been able to do was impressive.
Time out. We're going to have to have a timeout here for a second. Oh, boy. Time out, everybody.
Yeah. Oh,
Look at that fucking idiot.
oh,
What's up?
oh, JP.
Oh, let me put you in there. Let me put you there. There you go. There's that ugly face.
Does my screen name show up?
No, it doesn't show up.
Oh, man. I entered the room as Jack Mehoff.
Oh, Jack me off.
Boy, this show's taking a turn today.
Hey, so hold on. Let's get down to some seriousness here, guys. We're gonna bring it down a little bit. We kind of laughed a little bit. Let's bring it down to some seriousness here. JP, I need to ask you a serious question.
Okay.
Are you in quarantine because of the acts that were performed Saturday night?
Oh, man. No. I don't know what you speak of.
Are you doing like a walking marathon at your house?
Yeah.
You're making me dizzy. Oh,
Hey, you talk to him because the power's going out on one of the cameras. So let me go work on that. So you talk to him.
so JP, you didn't watch the game last night, did you?
I watched the end of it.
Okay. What was your take? Tell me what you felt about the game.
Well, I think they went 5 minutes and 30 seconds dry, right? No bucket. With all the good looks they had, they blew it.
It was back and forth.
Yeah.
UCLA was missing. Michigan was missing.
Right.
My take is Mike Smith's the worst point guard in the country.
Yeah.
And he proved it last night. He can defend. I'll give him that.
Right.
But his shots decision making, he was 0 for 4 in the first half. He was 0 for 2 at the free throw line. Played 20 minutes, no points. No points. Air ball, brick shots. It was embarrassing to watch. And when they started the second half, he was, clearly Juwan was not really happy with him, and they put Shawnee Brown, and they did well. They did well till about the 10-minute mark when they brought him back in, and all shit went to hell again. So,
Well, they were what? Franz was what? 1 for 10 from the field.
Oh,
So you got Franz 1 for 10 from the field.
combined,
Shawnee Brown didn't get enough playing time.
Yeah, I agree with that one. It was
So
it was hard to watch. They were getting the ball to Hunter a lot in the second half. They really focused in on that. But then I think he was getting a little bit greedy for a while, and he was taking some really off balance shots, but he was trying. But yeah, you got Tyrion Lannister, aka Mike Smith, and you got Franz
Bob Marley
Wagner,
on the other side.
Yeah, you got Wagner, who scores 4 points, and
Lannister, really?
yeah, and Mike Smith, who scores 3 in the whole game. Those
Right.
starters were 7 points. You're not going to get it done at all. And,
No.
And the free throw shooting was abysmal.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm optimistic. I think this is Juwan's least talented team he'll have in the time that he's here. with the number one class coming in and Livers being out. I mean, it was amazing that they made it as far as they did.
Well, right. I mean, it definitely caught up with them not having Livers. And we just had a comment, worst point guard in the country. Yeah, I maybe I'm being a little exaggerated, but his performance from with the Big Ten tournament where he had 18 and 15 assists. Yeah, he played well.
Yeah.
But why is the ball in his hands with 5 seconds left? That's my biggest question.
Well, Franz didn't make it.
At that point, you're going to give it to, though.
You're down by 2. You get the ball to Hunter somehow, and you force a foul if need be. But
Right.
for him to hold the ball just like he did against Ohio State and go and take an off-balance shot, I don't believe that's the play.
So is that him or is that the coaching?
I don't see how it's coaching.
Yeah.
And if it is, then we've got a problem. But then again, here's the other problem. We need more depth at the point guard position.
What about free throw shooting though down the stretch?
Free throw, 5 of 11. How about turnovers? 14 turnovers.
They had 9 turnovers in the first half. Yeah. I think they looked past UCLA. I really do. I really think they thought, well, we have the crowd advantage, and they're the 11th seed. There's no way we can lose this game.
I think everyone's looked past UCLA. Even going back to the Spartans of East Lansing, I think everyone looked past them.
Yep.
You mean you're talking about the Spartans sponsored by Rocket Mortgage?
That's correct. Yes, that's the official name.
Fighting
The official name,
is
yeah.
powered by
Yes.
Rocket
Fighting-
Mortgage.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so Scott chimed in and said 100% free throws cost them the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Free throws will cost you a game no matter what.
Yeah.
Hunter missed, I think, 4 on his own.
Well, shooting 39% from the field, that's not going to get it done.
And the one thing that I will say that they didn't do a whole lot of, which they're used to, is taking a lot of threes.
Yeah.
They just seem like apprehensive to take the open shot. Whatever that was, I don't know. Hey, you know what? They made it to the Elite Eight. Same can't be said against, the so-called Big Ten champ, the Fighting Eleni in Ohio State. So you know what? There's hope. Juwan's going to get it right.
But UCLA's consultation prize is open ass whooping by Gonzaga.
That team.
They opened up minus 14.5 Gonzaga.
Well, I was sitting here in the speakeasy watching the game last night, just thinking, if they get past this game, there ain't a snowball's chance in hell they're going to get past Gonzaga.
You got to think, though, I'm a history buff when it comes to AA and whatnot. You got to remember that the number 1 seed overall has lost in the Final Four.
Yeah.
And especially an undefeated team going into the.
Hey, hold on a second here. Put that shit on mute, please.
It's the wife, she's a little worried.
Tell her to tune in. You're live. You're breathing. You got a drink in front of you. You're good.
I'm good.
We're taking care of you.
I'm good.
All right, so go ahead. Just move closer to the mic because you're fading out. There you
Sorry.
go.
Is that better?
Way better.
Okay, sorry. Should I lick it when I'm over here? Or?
No, because
okay.
I think that's the one that this guy uses.
There it is. There it is.
All right, so go ahead.
This is the 5th team going into this year that has been undefeated. The only other team to really do it is IU. Back when they had,
There's only been 3, isn't it?
there's been 5 undefeated teams going into the Final Four, and the last one to actually win everything was IU under Bobby Knight. I don't even think you were born yet, Rich.
Hey, JP. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm gonna do my AJ Hawk.
Oh, you're going to smoke a cigar.
That's hey, show everybody that flag that's behind you, please.
Oh, this isn't my house, by the way.
That isn't your house? We'll just keep that covered up.
Let me move this way.
No politics.
No
That was
politics.
the rule.
That is
Yeah,
the
let me
rule.
move the other way.
Jeez.
Hey, thanks, AJ.
To quote Pat McAfee, this show stinks. It stinks.
So Michigan lost. Okay, big deal. We'll get over it. All the Sparty fans are all happy and glorious. But
I wouldn't say that.
from what I read,
Well, on
from hey, listen here.
on Twitter.
So from what I read today,
from what I read today on everything, everybody was saying, oh, yeah, they were all pounding their chest like they're so great and everything like that. It's like, listen here. If you are in a play-in game, you're not in the tournament, dude. So my personal opinion, Michigan State wasn't even in the tournament because they did not play. They played 11 versus 11 because they couldn't make their mind up on who was going to play.
So here's
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
you better agree with it. I'm right.
You better.
'Cause I'm right.
I know. I think that you got to be in the tournament to be in the tournament. Right?
Yeah.
Izzo, that whole rule, it's like a rule. You know, it's like it's there. However, they're not in the tournament.
okay.
You get a seat
So
to go to that dance.
Yeah.
what do you make of Rocket Watts transferring? Is that the start of more to come, or
Yeah.
do you think Izzo is going to pay for the grab?
I think he's getting into that era that he's going to pay for it.
We're in the transfer portal era now, guys.
I think
Yeah.
that's 100% correct.
Yep.
That I was looking at it earlier today, and I think you're going to see a lot more of these guys. I'm curious what Michigan's going to do because you got all these guys that can come back next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know what Howard's going to do with Brooks and Wagner and some of these guys. They can come
Well,
back.
Eli's a senior.
He's a fifth year, right?
This
They
is
all
his
get
first
up.
year.
He's a
Eli
fifth year,
and
but I read
Livers.
today that he can come back next year.
JP, is Livers got any more eligibility?
I think everybody was granted a year this year
Yeah.
if they'd like to come back.
Well, they senior day they kind of shuffled Eli off like he was going to
Yeah.
be done.
I
The
think
question-
Liver's the only prospect on the team, so I don't see him coming back.
Who's that?
I don't see Livers coming back, no.
No, he might have some value. He could go. in
Mike
the draft.
Smith will be back, your favorite point guard.
Oh, he better. No,
Got that
he's
going for you.
does he have another year?
Yeah, he's already announced that he's coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to be kidding.
Where these guys are running into is they have recruits coming in, but they
Oh,
only
yeah.
have so many
Yeah.
spots for them.
Mhm.
You know, and like Michigan is a great example that you got a group that can potentially come back that went to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
Plus you have your number one recruiting
Mhm.
class coming in. And then you have the guys up in East Lansing there that they got Rocket Watts that's going bye-bye and a couple others, but they still have spots that they need to have filled with seniors that are there they potentially want to get rid of.
Yeah.
You know, so I think you're going to see a lot of that. This year's just weird with the NCAA rules and letting these guys come back. I think they should fly. Let them go.
Yeah.
Right? Bring in the recruiting class that you want, and that goes for all schools in the NCAA.
Yeah, you might as well just get
Yeah.
it going. Yeah.
And just let them go, right? Because I think that is talking NCAA basketball and March Madness. You know, you get those new recruits that come in, you get some of these one and dones.
And these kids being recruited, they're not coming in for 2 years,
No,
2-3 years. They're
no.
coming in to play 1 year and they're
For sure.
out.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's-
And
that's
now
what it's
that they're-
coming to.
Now they're coming out with that it's like a G League, but it's sponsored by the NBA.
Yeah.
So these kids are going to be able to go from high school to this
For sure.
special
Yeah.
1 year league,
Yeah.
and then
Pay that man his money.
That's
then
exactly
they're
what it's all
gone.
about.
so the
It's all
college
about the money.
the college game's in trouble if
Yep.
if you ask me. But is Hunter going to come back? Do you think he's done enough in his 1 year
No,
to be a high draft pick?
no.
Wagner proved he is nowhere near ready. He's not his brother.
Wagner's only a sophomore, though.
Yeah, well, he needs another year. I like his defensive game, but offensively, he's too hesitant.
Yeah.
He doesn't know when to take that good shot, and then he's got the ability to drive the lane, and he's very hesitant to do that. But so-
Hunter Dickinson's game doesn't translate to a big man game in the NBA anymore. Them guys are stepping out, and
he needs
I mean-
he needs a jumper, and,
Yeah.
and if he's not within 10 feet, I don't think he's successful.
he's got to improve his face-up game before he can declare.
Yeah,
The problem with some of these guys, those big men, is they just get beat up and they can't handle it. They go through that lane, they're getting their asses kicked.
Mhm.
And that takes a toll on your body the farther you go. And some of these guys just don't have the heart or the will to go through, just getting
Yeah.
their ass kicked game in, game out.
yeah.
And-
Hunter's 7'2", but he needs a little more meat on his bones, I
Yeah.
think.
Yep.
But so you bring up a good point there. With that class coming in next year, number
Mhm.
1 ranked in the country, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It'll be tough. I mean, it's a good problem to have,
Yep.
having an over amount of talent, but
Mhm.
we'll see.
Hey, Mike Smith.
I'm not fucking like
At least cut your fucking hair. How big is his head?
Well, inches of hair there to make him 5'11".
Hey, JP, I'm going to cut you off in a second. You're outside, and that wind's blowing like crazy. You're getting a lot of feedback.
Oh, sorry.
No,
His,
sir.
his hair, his
You
hair
hanging-
is probably 6 inches of that.
You hanging out in
probably.
Riverview?
No, I'm in Canton right now.
Nah, you're in Riverview.
The mean street.
The main streets of Canton.
Hey, and we haven't even look at that smile on that face right there. We haven't even told them the story yet.
I just know it's going to be good, and I'm excited about it.
We'll leave that for after the show.
Exactly. So
This is interesting.
So let's get off Michigan here. Let's get off Michigan. Let's talk about Baylor. Baylor goes on, wins against the Razorbacks, which was kind of expected.
Mhm.
Even though the Razorbacks did make a push at the end to try to make it worthy, but they just couldn't do it.
Baylor's got a couple studs on that team with Maceo Teague
Studs.
and
Studs.
Davian Mitchell, which JP, you might know this. Is that Davian Mitchell? Is that Mitchell from the
And then
Jazz?
work that into
Is
me.
that his
Give
brother?
me a good old.
Oh yeah, he's probably the best point guard left in the tourney.
No,
He's
liar.
that dude. That dude could game. He was fun to watch. Like you knew he was sitting at the top of the key, and you knew he was going to drive the lane. And
Oh, yeah.
So did Arkansas, and there was nothing they could do about it. He cut through. He reminded me of Dwayne Wade a lot. Just his ability to just beat the defender with the dribble, his first step, and they couldn't cover him.
Yeah, he was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, he was. And then Teague hit some huge threes at the end. You know, it was
Huge.
It was
Huge threes. Huge threes.
It was a good game to watch. You thought early on Arkansas was in trouble. Got his cock clean.
Really?
They were getting their
Oh,
cock
okay.
clean for sure, but then they made a nice comeback, and they decided to change up their deal a little bit, and it worked for a while. But obviously the better team can come out up on top. So
You got to show up, man. You talk about hitting big shots at the end of the game.
you got
That's where your go blue
Yep.
went down. You got
that's
to hit
where
those
they-
shots,
yep,
man. That's
absolutely.
where teams that are successful hit those big shots coming down. They make the free throws. They don't turn the ball over, and they score the ball.
yeah.
So real quick, so I know from previous experience and knowing this that normally the opening tournament weekend, our friend over here sitting across from me and just happens to sit to the left, he liked to spend his opening weekend down there in Viva Las Vegas.
I've spent a couple down there.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, just a few.
yeah. You kind of bummed out you couldn't get there this week,
Uh,
this year, I should say.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years. I started going when I was 17. Had a fake ID back in the day and started going, and we'd sit the Mirage and just get shit canned all weekend and bet on basketball, and went for probably a good 10 years straight. And
And-
there's no experience like Vegas.
then you got
on that
married,
opening.
and
then I
that
got
was it.
married, and yeah, she let me go a couple after times after that. But
But
you
then
know,
when the kids came around,
yeah, now that I got kids,
That's no way.
it's my once a year Vegas trip in October. So
how the fuck do you have a fake ID at 17-year-old going to Vegas?
you gotta remember,
That had to be it.
I was a poor kid from Redford. I had my last 20 bucks and I got a fake ID, bud.
You probably had the best fucking fake
And
ID ever.
It was
That's awesome.
real nice, Clark.
Well, you know what though? You know what? I will say this though. I remember you weren't even 19, but you were in Canada with us drinking beers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You weren't there when they found it, were you?
No, I wasn't there.
Bad day. Yeah, they found I got caught at the border with the fake ID. They didn't like that too much.
Oh boy. No, I don't think they'd like
No,
that very
no,
much.
I
Yeah,
didn't
no.
like that. But no, yeah, you guys were all. I was still a baby.
That's
You
right.
guys, you were 27, taking us 19-year-olds to Canada, and
What?
getting us all shit canned. It was
Hey,
good.
hey, I'm going to tell you right now. You know what I like about this new? Okay, so we got some new technology here today. So if you've noticed quite a bit, we've been able to switch cameras. So we have 3 cameras. We have 3 cameras that are going through here. I'm the one that's controlling the camera. So right now I just put it on myself to show everybody. We got 3. So we got 3 cameras now. So what I really like about it is I can put it on somebody else, go up and refill my beer.
Mhm.
Or if I don't want to be on the screen, I could just get off it or whatever. So when he made that comment about me being 27 years old and him being fucking 17, I had to take the camera off. I had to take the camera off to show my disgust and display. I know you ain't laughing, Andre. I know you ain't fucking laughing.
Yeah, you're the old fucker of the group.
Hey, you know what though?
No, that would be me.
That would be this guy right here. He's the
Right.
old
Oh,
guy of the group.
Tom's
right there.
older?
Fuck yeah, he is.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
What are you drinking? What are you fucking 11 years old drinking a Slurpee?
He's got the kiwi strawberry over there.
Hey guys.
Hey, I'm on quarantine, man.
Hey guys. Hey. Well, you know what though? I know how you got the quarantine, and let's just say I'm gonna keep that to myself. I'm gonna be a gentleman, and I'm gonna say, hey,
yeah.
look. I'm gonna say, hey, look. Here's your public service announcement. Everybody,
Keep your legs down.
please. When you're out and about, okay.
Did it rattle in and out of the rim?
What you have to do is you have to make sure you don't divulge all your information to your friends, because your friends will use that against you to the fullest extent of the law.
Does said friend have a podcast?
No, this guy right here, he comes on our podcast. He comes on our podcast.
Oh, I've heard him.
Yeah, it doesn't he not
I
sound
was
like
talking about said friend who has a podcast who
yeah.
is doing the PSA right now.
We don't do that. But
It needs to
anyway,
be a Speedway Slurpee, not a 7.
I know. Anyway, you having fun, JP? What do you?
Oh, yeah.
Who you house sitting for? Your boss?
No, my buddy. They're in Florida.
Hmm.
So
Are
next time
you,
I'm on the show, guys, I'll get to debut the mullet. So that's happening tomorrow.
Oh boy.
Hey, you got anybody coming over tonight?
He's in quarantine.
I can't give that information out for the web. I don't know who's watching.
Well, hold on. I'll look at you right now. There's only 2 people on right now, so it's probably 2 people that don't even know who the fuck you are.
Maybe. We'll see.
Or it's probably 2 people that don't give a fuck who you are.
Well, that's fucked up, Rich.
Hey.
So
hey.
before we go, JP, who do you like this weekend?
I got Baylor. They're favored by 5.5. I think they'll cover. I think they'll run away. And I think Gonzaga is going to destroy UCLA. So I think it's going to be the matchup that everybody's been talking about all year long. It's going to be Baylor and Gonzaga, and I think Gonzaga is going to cut the nuts down.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think we're all pretty much in agreement on that one.
Yeah.
So
They can't be beat. The inside, the outside.
they play a complete game.
Yeah, they look like an NBA team out there.
And the one thing that they weren't really known for really shined yesterday was their defense.
Yeah.
USC didn't have a friggin' snowball's chance in hell. They had a hard enough time getting that ball over the center line, and they defended.
Yeah.
I mean, they're as good as I've seen in quite some time. So I agree with you on that one.
And USC's got that kid that they're talking about being a lottery pick. And Timmy gave him the business, man. My boy Timmy with the headband.
Stash man.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna give him a good old elbow as he keeps making those gestures after he scores. He does that with his mustache.
Yeah.
And, someone's gonna knock him on his ass. I think he's gonna end up looking like that referee last night.
Yeah, I don't see those guys losing.
No, either do I.
All right, well, hey, listen here.
Oh yeah.
Hey, listen here. See you, fucker. Oh, he gone. So,
Thanks for coming on short notice, JP.
yeah,
We
JP.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I mean, you
Cheers.
haven't done a fucking thing in the last week besides getting your. Never mind. Oh, hold on. Since you spent the last week doing this.
Lunchtime, kids.
Oh boy.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
hey
boy.
now, hey now.
Oh boy.
So anyway, so let's get back to business here. As we like to call it here on the show, we kind of went off the
Off the
rails a
rails.
little
Off the
bit.
rails. Yep, I've heard
Off
about
the
that.
ra- off the
Heard that
rails a
online
little bit. So anyway, NFL said, you know what? We're gonna go and we're gonna take your useless 4th preseason game.
Mhm.
We're gonna say fuck that. We're gonna make it a week 17 where now the Lions got to travel to Denver to play them. So, my personal opinion, I think they should do 2 games
to even it out.
I think they should take what they should do is they should take and do a 18 game season, only have 2 warm-ups, but that's personally my opinion. What are your thoughts, Derek?
I don't like it. My personal opinion is you're going to wear these guys out. Week 17, week 18, if you get into it, a lot of your stars are not going to be there. They're going to be resting up potentially for the playoffs. And I think a lot of the injuries that go along with these guys playing 17, 18 games now, it's going to hurt. And you're not going to see the longevity out of these players that you normally would.
I think a lot of so you take away the 4th preseason game. Most of the stars don't play in that game.
I agree.
That's the one game that the 3rd and 4th stringers, the practice squad guys have an opportunity to shine. So I agree with you on that one. As far as what's the health of a lot of these older players going to be going into a playoff run? As a fan, I love
it's
it.
Great.
I love it
for sure. It's great. An extra week of betting. NFL football.
JP.
Shit.
Super
Vegas
Bowl
has to love it.
Super Bowl slated for February 13th, so it's going to go, damn near halfway into February. But I do see. I was kind of surprised to see that the NFL Players Association agreed with this
quickly.
Yeah, it didn't take long at all.
Yeah. They pretty much said, "Oh, okay, sounds great." Which, me being a union guy, there wasn't like, "Well, hold on here, let's pump the brakes here and let's talk about this."
Well, there was money.
It was just like, and that's
all
exactly what
about
it
the
was.
dollars.
It's all about
It's
the
money.
money.
It's an extra game check.
Yep.
Because the NFL players don't get paid throughout. They get paid for games.
Per game. Yep.
And if there's an extra game that they're going to play, they're going to get paid.
Yep.
And
Which is
obviously,
pretty significant.
Yeah, that probably is what sealed the deal.
But hold on here. So let's think about this, okay? We'll just make easy mathematics out of it, okay?
I went to Redford Union. Keep that in mind.
And that's why we're going to keep
Your
it very.
Stevenson boy, big difference.
That's why we're going to keep it easy.
Okay.
Okay. So if you think about this,
Can I take my shoes off first?
yes.
Okay. Good.
So say your salary is $100. Okay. If you played 9 games, you get more money, right? Each check.
That's true.
Now you are playing an additional game, and you're getting the same $100, but you're getting it spaced out into 10 games. So realistically, they're really not gaining an additional game check.
No.
All they're doing is all it is doing is the competition part of the season is more important, I guess.
Well, on top of that, on the dollar amount, think about the bonuses that come with a lot of these guys. The wide receivers hitting certain yardages, the sacks and the tackles and the yardages, right? That's going to give them a more opportunity to obtain those bonuses that are more money than probably the 3 of us at this table can fathom, right? Is that necessarily fair? Or are they going to go back to the contract when they go to sign it and say, hey, listen, I'm playing an extra game. I need that extra $1 million.
Here's what also is going to happen. The TV deal was just signed. So with that, and Amazon in the mix, that's going to give a lot more money to the league. So yes, after this season where they lowered the salary cap 18 million, it'll probably be raised significantly more next season.
Yep.
That's my guess. So I think these players signing contracts next year are really going to benefit from a 17th game. Hey, the league's making that much more money.
Where's my cut?
Pay that man his money.
Yeah.
Pay that man his money.
That's exactly what it's going to come down to.
It's the bottom line is money, and I don't see the union agreeing.
No,
unless the players have all said we're going to get paid.
The NFL and the owners can't afford not to pay these guys their money.
Yeah,
I mean, you think about some of these teams being worth billions and billions of dollars, and just the money that they get, and how much have they lost in the past year and a half?
Yeah.
And you got Goodell saying now fans are going to be there.
100%.
100% they're going to be there.
Yep.
I mean, you got people talk about Detroit, right? And about Hockey Town and stuff like that. Detroit is a football
it is.
state.
Yep.
You think about selling out Michigan Stadium every week, 120K. You got your crosstown up at Michigan State. What do they got? 60, 80 grand over there. And then on Sunday, love them or hate them, people fill that Ford Field.
The Pontiac Pussycats.
Exactly.
And when they were at the one entrance Silverdome, it was 81,000
all day,
every week.
all day.
They put
All
81,000
day.
in that place. And how many of those 81,000 went to jail? A lot.
Oh, I'll tell you right now, those fights
Oh, they
at
were
the Silverdome.
Classic.
No, here's the thing. So you want to talk about? I think I'd probably say the most classic fight I saw wasn't at a Lions game at an event. I was at the UFC when it was Quentin Rampage Jackson
At the Silverdome?
No, at the Palace. I'm just saying in
Okay.
general.
Yeah, I remember when that came out.
We're talking about fights. When it was Rampage versus Machida, and so the only I was on Ticketmaster immediately trying to get tickets. Got a ticket, Upper Bowl, big deal. I went with my brother-in-law at the time. We went out there, and we're sitting there. Everything's dark. The ring is lit up. I look over to my left. I saw a dude get tossed from the top row at the Palace. I'm not talking pushed downstairs. I'm talking launched.
Back of his pants, just down.
It wasn't even that. It was just somebody had picked him up like this.
Awesome.
And just threw
That's
him.
incredible.
I mean, it was crazy.
It's incredible.
But the Lions fights, those were some epic Donniebrooks. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Did you witness any?
I was at my uncle took me every year to the Thanksgiving game, and we were there one year, and I look kind of 2 sections over, and there's this large black man just going to town, and cleared 3 rows on each side of him. Cleared it before you had all the security guards coming in from every angle, just try to get this guy down. And my uncle just goes, "Glad we're sitting over here." Yes, I am. I was a young kid at that time, but it was crazy. And
Yeah,
just
the fights were just crazy.
oh, they were epic, just epic.
They probably all lived on the east side.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
You better
sure.
watch it.
they lived
better
all on
watch
the east
it.
side.
East Side for
boys,
Doc.
yeah.
East Sider writer.
Did you know that you're doing a podcast with Isham over here?
I didn't.
Yeah,
Is that a west side or an east side?
That's
I
an
can't-
east side side.
East side. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I live on the northwest
The
side
northwest
now,
side.
but I'm
Wow.
East Side for life.
I feel like I'm back at home in Redford. The gang signs thrown up.
Oh,
Not here, not
yeah,
here.
not here. So yeah, so they expanded the schedule to 17 games. Okay, cool, whatever. You took up preseason. I personally think that preseason games are very
Waste of
overrated.
time.
And me being
and they fleece the fans.
yeah,
too.
me being a previous season ticket holder,
Mhm.
I paid for 4 tickets of games that I could give 2 fucks about.
and
and-
you couldn't give them away.
No, you couldn't give away. Except when they went 4-0.
Oh yeah.
When they were
It's a big year.
preseason, when they were preseason
Preseason champions.
champions,
the year they went 0-16.
16. Yeah. Oh yeah. So they got that, and then so it's going to be definitely interesting to see how that goes. One of the things I'm really worried about is Deshaun Watson is not looking too favorable in the eyes of everybody.
Yeah.
There's only one owner that really likes that.
Bill Belichick, I
Yep.
bet.
Oh, he's the coach, but Robert Kraft is probably like, "Where are you going, bud?"
Robert
He's
Hug-
excited about it.
Well,
Robin
hey,
Hug Rob.
Yeah, Robert Kraft only likes him because, man, this guy.
So you tell me, you just rub your genitalia
Yeah,
on their leg, and that's all you got to do?
that's gonna be a drop.
I'm gonna. What do you think about a long-term deal up here in New England?
Yeah,
I agree.
and I mean, and realistically, and that guy. I mean, all the shit that came out couldn't happen at a worse time because he already announced saying, "Hey, look, I'm not playing for you fucking scrubs anymore."
So think about that timeline, though, guys. How quick he wanted to get out of there.
Yeah,
I mean, I got to go now. Like, I want out today.
Yeah,
And then-
that's a good point.
Dun, dun, dun,
That's a
dun,
good
dun. Here
point.
we go. Next thing you know, it's up to 22.
I think it's 19.
I
Yeah.
thought it was
There-
19 or
there might
22.
have been
I think it
more
went up to
today.
22. Here's my question. You got 22 massage therapists that
That's
come
not-
through and say,
How many massage
supposed-
therapists? Is
How many do you need?
Yeah,
right?
my
You're an
God.
NFL player making millions of dollars a year.
Kinda
Why
like
do
a
you need so
therapist.
many?
You find one and you roll with it.
Exactly.
There must be a
There's-
lot of shitty.
And then on top of
massage
that, think
therapists
about
in
this. There's
Houston.
been 18 that have came out and said,
Yes.
"Oh no, he never did anything like that."
He's been nothing but professional.
He's been okay. So
Yeah.
where's the NDA?
Yeah.
Can we see it?
And here's my thing with that whole thing is, and I got chastised in a personal text message about what I said last time. If he did it, he's guilty. Be penalized for it
For sure.
100%.
For
I'm not
sure.
even going to say what I said because
It was
I already
one
got
word.
chastised by
It
it.
was one word.
But I'll tell you after the show. But I will say this though: if you did it and you're guilty of it, any penalty that comes
No.
to you, serve it.
Be a big boy.
That-
pay your fine.
and, hey,
take the slap on the wrist.
hey,
You're
that's-
gonna sit out a couple weeks and go.
No, he ain't gonna sit. Dude, he's going to jail.
Yeah.
He's gonna go to jail.
Listen, there are lawyers out there that'll get you out anything, and for the right dollar amount, you can do pretty much whatever.
He's got a lot of dollars.
He's got a lot of
He's got a
dollars.
lot of
And he
dollars.
gets hooked up with the right person. He talks to his buddy, old Robert Kraft there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's rub and tug, Rob.
rub it.
So, Deshaun, I got this.
Yeah.
I got this for you right here.
I got
So I had a similar situation down in Florida.
And
that,
I was down in Jupiter, Florida.
Jupiter.
I
yeah.
was a
I may have gotten my old broken hip around and rolled over. Got
dude, and
the wet sock hard, and
So hold on here. So real quick before we really go off the rails on this one, realistically speaking, if you were a female massage therapist, I was gonna say if you were a female massage therapist, what the I mean, how can you possibly live with yourself on going and saying, hey, honey, you mind giving me the old
boosh kadoosh rub there. I mean, really. So think about that, right? You're never being in that situation, right?
No, you
Now,
really
do you roll over with the heart on and say, "Hey, you want to touch it?
Hey.
What do you do? I don't get it. You want to give the old boosh kadoosh a rub here? I mean, what do you say?
Oh man.
And the second, how many massage therapists are in Houston?
Oh, I have no idea.
I mean, really. On top of that, how many are good looking enough that you would want them to touch the old boosh kadoosh? Or do you just close your eyes and say,
No,
give it a little rub?
Okay, so let me go back and give you my. So I've done a couples massage. Okay,
Okay.
so I've went and done that or whatever. I think I've done it 3 times
How
in
was
my
it jerking it
entire
out?
life. It was amazing.
Okay, just check it.
So, but the thing is what is mind-boggling is so the first one was down. I was in Cabo.
Yeah.
And so I'm laying there
Same
and I'm getting
situation, I get it.
a massage. I'm like, damn, this woman that came in and rubbed my back and everything like that. And I'm telling you, she was probably about 4.5 foot tall.
Yeah.
She rubbed my back or whatever, and then she comes to me and she's like, roll over. And I'm like,
Is that the sign?
I'm like that. I was like this.
Is that the sign?
I'm like looking around. I'm like, I act like I was asleep. Do you need another beer? You good?
I'm good. You might as well.
Yeah, you might as well grab another one,
Might
Tommy.
as well cap it off.
So I was like, okay. So I kind of act like I was asleep. I'm looking over, and mind you, I'm married at the
Oh, yeah,
time.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
looking over. I'm like, is she rolling over?
Yeah.
And I'm looking over, whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God. I'm like, I roll.
So
over.
were you hard?
So I roll. No.
Okay, just checking.
So I rolled over because I was like, because that was one of the biggest fears that I had was those massage parlors. Like,
Yeah.
all right, so what am I getting myself into?
Well, you're in Mexico, right? You don't know.
as long as there are no donkeys involved.
Well, that was for the other trip. But that's okay. You
That's-
gotta
oh, that's
you
the
gotta
one.
think. So I did the same thing, and
It was
this
kind of
little-
weird.
this
The first
little-
time it was weird.
This little lady, right? She's like, is it 4'2", right? Can't weigh more than 98 pounds. I'm like passed out. And she did the same thing, but she put her face. You got your face in the thing.
Yeah.
She put it right here. She goes, excuse me, Mr. Eddie, you roll over for me, and you go.
You're like,
But then I'm like, what's Marie doing over there? She's passed out. So I'm thinking, okay, do I roll over? I don't know what to do. I rolled over and she,
were you hurt?
no,
Okay.
Unfortunately not.
Okay. All right.
It'd have been a party, but I mean, it got crazy pretty quick. But that old tuna can gets fired up. It's bad. But
it might
no.
not go deep, but it beats the hell out of the sides.
It's going to hit the sides all the way around. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
man,
man.
this show stinks.
This is like tuna.
My wife is going to listen to this and she's going, what the fuck is wrong with you?
She's gonna love it. She's gonna be like, "You are never allowed over there again, except for days end and why."
That's right. That's right. Get out of my hair.
All right, so let's get done with the rub and tugs and let's go on with pro days. I'm gonna tell you right now, the pro day. I'm telling you right now, the pro day. I had to switch the camera to myself.
I know
'cause
what
I'm
you
not
did. I
used
saw
to
what you
this.
did.
So the pro day,
Yes.
Micah Parsons ran a what do you run a fourth?
4.39.
Are these guys
40?
getting faster
They are.
every year? I
Well-
mean, you're looking at these guys. They got the little Under Armour shorts on. They look like they've been weightlifting since they were 10, and they're running 4.4s all
They're-
day long.
They're
All of 'em.
trained. They're training in speed and
It's
in that
incre-
aspect.
they literally look like when everyone, Jalen Hurts gets up there and you're watching him, and he looked like a runner.
Yeah.
He looked like Usain Bolt
Yeah.
in his position that he was in. It's like, all right, they're training these guys for this specific moment, right?
Yep.
I don't remember doing that stuff when I was young, and I played a little amateur hockey, right? But these guys nowadays are just what they're doing is crazy.
Mhm.
And don't even say, I know where your mind's going.
Hey, drop the siren for the amateur hockey.
Table for one.
Table for
Table for
Table
one.
for one.
So you'd be surprised, Rich, and other listeners out there.
You probably watch it because you like a runner on tight shorts, right?
I have slowly fallen off the Micah Parsons bandwagon.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard some things about him this week that
Well, I told you he was kind of sketchy. Anybody from
He's-
Penn State's a little sketchy.
apparently he's done some
Besides
stuff.
Sean McHugh, he's a good dude.
He's done some things in the locker room to younger teammates that has raised eyebrows. He's done some things outside of the football field that has raised some eyebrows as well. But his ability aside, yeah, he's worth a mid-first pick. But who has grown on me in the last week? We talked about last week's show. Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts ran a 4.440 today. He is an absolute freak. I'm getting more and more thinking that might be the good pick for them at 7 if they stay there. But Parsons to me is he may be risky. I'm not sure. His skill level speaks for itself. But when you have a guy that has some questionable characteristical flaws, is that worth spending a first round pick?
But a lot of people are comparing him to like a Jared Davis for Detroit.
I've heard that
And
because he's a
we don't need another one.
he's a middle linebacker, so he's not an edge
Yeah.
linebacker. So he's a good run stopper. Yeah, Jared Davis, who they decided to go pick instead of Aaron Donald. We don't need another one of those around here.
So let me ask you this. So who would you think, or I mean, if they were to draft Kyle Pitts, we'll just say hypothetically speaking, or playing devil's advocate, however you want to say it, they go and draft Kyle Pitts. So if they go and draft Kyle Pitts, I'm going to go across the room here. Do you move him? Do you keep him at tight end? Or do you put him as a wide receiver? Because he does demonstrate that speed, that size that you long. It's like Calvin Johnson size and speed. I mean, is that something that you really think that you need?
He absolutely gets lined up on the end. He gets lined up. He takes the place of Kenny Galladay. He's the go get it guy. He's the, when you need to make a big play, you throw it up and he's going to go get it. That's what they're going to do with him.
I agree. I think you have to have that player who you need a go-to player down that field. And with Goff coming in here or whoever they put up there, right? He's got to have a solid guy over there. And he's got the size, he's got the speed. Get him a year under his belt, right?
Yeah.
Let this guy get trained a little bit by some good staff who can really show him what to do. Stud quickly.
And who did Anthony Lynn coach for a couple years? It was Antonio Gates. So the tight end position, and then he had Keenan Allen. So he's used to big receivers. on his team.
Who have great hands.
You look at what Galladay was to Stafford. He was a
Mhm.
security blanket.
Mhm.
When he needed to make a play, just put it up,
Mhm.
and Galladay
Let him
went
go
and
get it.
got it. And just like
Yep.
Kelvin, so I don't think there's a team in the NFL that's going to line him up at tight end. You look,
Perplexed.
yeah. There you got something in your eye.
Perplexed. Let's just say I'm not going to be upset if they went and took him.
No.
I think that we have greater holes to fill, as you would call them,
Yep.
of the fact that our defense is shambles. I mean, we'll call a spade a spade. Our defense is shambles. I honestly think that we need to address a lot of things on that side of the ball. However, I'm not going to say I'm going to be totally upset with that selection by any means, but I feel that there's a lot of things that we could do, but there's nobody within the first 10 picks that
You can't go wrong.
that are no, you can't. There's nobody on the defensive side of the ball that is worth the first 10 picks.
Yeah.
So, and I think that the Lions really, I don't think they did himself any favors by announcing that they restructured Goff's deal, because now there's teams like Carolina or who's right after the Lions.
You got Carolina,
Yeah,
Denver.
Carolina and Denver. Those teams might have been like, hey, you know what? They might take the quarterback that we need. But now that they said, hey, we're going to restructure Goff's deal to where everything's going to be more of a bonus heavy, we'll save ourselves $15 million under the cap. So that kind of gave the indication like, hey, we're going to stick with Goff for the foreseeable future. Let's say not next year, but the foreseeable future. We're gonna stick with him. So these guys are like, well, I guess we'll just stand pat and just wait to see what happens, as opposed to saying if you didn't announce it, something came up and you're like, you got Carolina knocking on your door saying, hey, we really want to move up to that 7 because we really want to.
They want Fields.
We want a Fields, a Trey Lance if he's available, even a Mac Jones. That type of thing, and getting the quarterback that they want. But the Lions they're playing an open-faced hand in poker right now.
Yeah.
On especially when it comes to the quarterback position.
It all depends on if Justin Fields is there at 7. If he's there at 7, the phone activity in Allen Park is going to be through the roof.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have Carolina calling, you're going to have Denver calling. New England clearly is in the need for a quarterback if they don't go out and get Jimmy G or potentially Deshaun Watson.
Or if they go trade for Deshaun. We got massage parlors.
But then you have the football team that is sitting there who could stand to gain from a Justin Fields type of player.
And they're a quarterback away.
I agree, but think about New England. What scheme does Belichick want to run, right? You have 2 separate quarterbacks there. You got your normal pocket quarterback that's in there, and then you got your guys that run all over the field, like a Mahomes, right? What do you want to do with what you have? Now you have Cam Newton in there. That didn't get you very far.
To me, the perfect fit if you're drafting a quarterback is Mac Jones for New England.
I agree. Did you see the bits on him though today?
He had a bad pro day.
Did you see the Belichick little meme where he was overthrowing everybody, and you got the guy from San Fran and Belichick just shaking their head
Kyle Shanahan.
because he's overthrown everybody.
Yeah.
Now he may not have been doing that, but it was just
he didn't have a good pro day from what I saw. But that's the kind of guy that Belichick likes.
Think about who he is, right?
Look what he did with Brady.
I was just going to say, think about
he ran
Brady.
what, a 5'2", 5'3", 40?
Brady ran like an 8.7.
I think Brady's
still
running
hold on.
40 right now.
Brady ran an 8-minute 40.
Yeah.
An 8-minute 40. Yeah, no, that's the truth though.
Yeah, I mean,
think about him. He trips over his feet walking down the street.
Yeah.
But you know
Put
what?
him in a pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
Silky smooth, baby. Silky smooth.
With good coaching.
With good coaching.
With good coaching.
And he sees the field and he does what he needs to do, right?
And Mac Jones he's been the underdog his whole career. He was on the scout team.
Yep.
at Alabama, and he went through Tua, and he went through Jalen Hurts, or
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts went, and then Tua went, and then he got his opportunity, and he definitely took advantage of it. And he led them to the national championship.
Yeah.
He had a lot of weapons on his side, but
Mhm.
he did what he had to do. He didn't make many mistakes, and to me, that is a Belichick quarterback.
Yeah.
That is definitely a quarterback that would, after his pro day, he's getting ripped on, considering like what Justin Fields did and what Trey Lance was doing and what his throws were unbelievable.
Mhm.
Mac Jones, once again, here we go. He's kind of like, he's the forgotten guy.
Yeah.
And the thing that Shanahan's shaking his head was they traded up
Mhm.
because they wanted Mac Jones.
For sure.
Now maybe they're thinking, I don't know. But I've always been a believer that Kyle Shanahan overthinks a little bit too much.
Hey, so my question is, I mean, and now that we have a new person on the show tonight, I want to get his opinion. What do you think now that the guy who's in charge in Jacksonville? What if he goes and takes Justin Fields?
Would it surprise you?
No, I don't think it would. Would it surprise you?
Absolutely not.
Do you think maybe because of familiarity?
He has no
Yeah.
ties to him. He didn't coach Justin Fields.
Yeah, well, he recruited him.
I was going to say it's part
Yeah,
of the recruiting
well,
class.
he
Yeah.
got
He
him
coached
to
him, but
the
he was-
transfer. He got him to the transfer. Yeah, he might not have coached him. He saw him every fucking day.
Yeah.
Every day.
You're not going to build around Justin Fields. Justin Fields is not going to be the face of your franchise.
Do you really think that Urban Meyer cares about that?
Well,
Urban Meyer's coming in there to put butts. Have you been down to Jacksonville? You
uh,
ever seen that place?
It's a
it's a
shithole.
concrete.
Listen,
yeah,
there's one restaurant
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah.
One restaurant that's good to go to. Other than that, it's a shithole.
You don't go anywhere outside.
You don't go
of that
anywhere, no.
stadium.
My nephew lived there for a couple of years, and he could probably say it was. a
Now I
shithole,
will
too.
say Jacksonville Beach.
Listen,
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
I
nice.
agree. I
Very
agree.
nice. Jacksonville.
Ugh.
I'm out.
I mean, it's almost like Toledo. If you really think about it, it's bad.
I'm out by.
Toledo with
But
palm trees.
Toledo with palm trees, exactly.
Hey, I'm out by.
But Urban Meyer's coming down there. They bought a name. All right, he can't get a coaching job in college football.
Nope.
We all know why.
Mm.
But he's a name, and he's got those Florida ties. He's going to go down there, and he's going to put butts in seats, and that's what they want him.
He's
for.
got a shit ton of draft picks, and he's got
got
a shit.
ton.
And he's got
18.
a
Is that what I
shit-
heard? 18 in the
Yeah,
next 2
it's-
years.
it's
No, no,
insane.
and he's got a shit ton of money
He's
to
got
work
3
with.
first-round picks.
He's
But
got whatever he wants down there.
Exactly.
if you didn't have a generational talent like Goldilocks Lawrence coming out, then you say, you know what? We can roll the dice on Fields.
Dude, I'm
But-
gonna tell you right now, you guys have no idea how pissed off I was that the Lions won some games and they really fucked themselves. Dude,
How about the Jets?
I swear.
How about the Jets
Are you
when they
surprised by
swear.
it?
I swear I
Rich,
won.
you've been drinking the juice for like way too long on this Lions team. Listen,
Cornbread.
and we all have. We all have, right? Don't
Oh,
get me
yeah.
wrong. Being from Michigan, you want that team to be so successful and just have what everybody else has. All right. It's not going to change until the Ford last name is gone.
I do believe the dial is changing slightly. Slightly. When we're talking
Ugh.
biting kneecaps
Ugh.
and bringing in John Dorsey,
Ugh.
they're making moves that are uncharacteristical.
I know you guys don't like to talk about that regime, right?
The old regime,
The old
that's
regime,
the old
right? I
regime,
know
yes.
we don't
He
like
is a
talking about
listener.
that,
He is
right?
a
I
listener.
listen to it, right? I pay attention. I may look dumb, but I'm not.
We all look dumb.
You know, that was what we heard then, right? You're bringing in a winning backbone to promote the winning going forward. And who do you want? You want the Patriots, right? You got Robert Kraft down there getting the old fucking rub and tug all the time. You want that in Detroit? I wanted to Detroit. Why not? But you want that mindset here. And that's what they brought in. And then next thing you know, it's a fucking garbage can again.
Well, it
Right?
failed
So
before it even started.
It was done.
Yeah.
You know, historically the Fords owned the Lions to own the Lions. right?
Just to add to the resume.
It's just a resume builder. And don't get me wrong. And again, I want to see him do great. You know, I don't know that until the Ford name is gone, that we're actually going to get an owner that has enough heart to go do what it needs to happen in order to win a championship,
Yeah.
or at least win a playoff game. Get in
Yeah.
the playoffs, man.
Playoffs.
Well, I'm going to show you my age right now
Well,
when I
okay.
say this. I remember the last playoff win back in
91.
91.
I
Oh,
was
yes.
I was 4. Rich, just remember that.
I know.
You were
I know
4
you
in
were.
91?
Just joking.
No, he was probably about, you were probably about,
What year?
8 or 9?
91? I was probably I was 10, 9, 10.
I was
fucking 63.
I was 14 when the last time the Lions won a playoff game.
It's just it's.
I'll be 43 this
But
year.
think about that.
Really?
guys.
You're old as fuck.
I am OAF.
We sitting at this table, you want them to do so good, and the adversity that we've been through and are going to go through
Yep.
over the next 3 years to potentially have a winner on the table, it's scary. And yes, you say there's a little dial change there, and yeah, there's some steps that are being taken, but until somebody finally says, you know what, fuck this, we're gonna win.
Yeah.
All right, we got the facility,
Mhm.
right? Ford Field is pretty nice,
And their
right?
training facility.
and
in
their
Allen
training
Park,
facility in Allen Park.
Just as long as you're not speeding down the south field, you're good.
That's true. That's true. You can do about 68 before you really get pulled over. I've been down there once or twice. They got the facility. They were doing the days where you got the Patriots coming in and practicing with you, and they're doing that stuff, and it's getting national attention. You're getting the press that you want, but the result
HBO needs to be in here.
there you go. But the result at the end of the day,
You're still
Nothing.
fucking losing.
you're still a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
and
I-
why can't you stop it?
I love MCDC. I love his passion. I love that he vomits out of his mouth
just
and just
Oh, I love it.
he
Just
tells
love
it
it.
like
Just
he
gargle
sees
Love
it.
it.
Just
And
gargle.
that is something you haven't seen here. You had Bobby Ross, who I don't coach that stuff, and you had Wayne Fontes.
Do you guys remember as a kid? And you remember this when Pete Mitchell went as Wayne Fonts for
You mean
was it Pete Mitchell?
No.
It was Mitchell. Was his last name, right?
Yes.
Scott Mitchell.
Scott Mitchell
yeah.
went as Wayne Fonts for Halloween.
Yeah.
You remember that? And he wore like the pillow underneath his. Oh, that was great. I remember
That
as a
didn't go
kid.
over too well.
No, it
if
didn't
I
go over too
remember
well for
correctly.
him. But yeah, I remember that.
But you take the passion mixed with the coaching staff that he's brought in. I think the one thing that hasn't been said enough is Anthony Lynn. What he was able to do with Justin Herbert, unbelievable.
Yeah.
So he's your offensive coordinator,
Mhm.
and I think he's going to make a big difference. So on paper, I like the direction they're
On
going.
paper, the direction that they're going is there. But until the one that signs that check week in and week out makes the decision to make this a winning franchise,
Yeah.
it's not going to happen. And I hate to be like that, but it's reality, right? I try to be a realist in everything that I do. And those Lions, the Honolulu Blues right here on
Yeah.
my note page, I want them to be on top.
Yeah.
I want how great would a playoff win in Detroit be?
Here's my
Be
problem.
awesome.
Here's my problem that's been my issue for many years. Until the fans turn their backs and stop going downtown to
It's not gonna
games,
happen.
the same old Lions might just happen.
But you're 100% correct.
But like you said earlier, it's a football state.
If you're not feeding the beast,
Yeah.
the beast ain't going anywhere,
right.
right? You got a how many millions of dollars that place cost to that Ford Field down there,
Mm-hmm.
and everything that goes into it. You don't show up, you're not feeding the beast anymore. And then someone might say, "You're right."
Sure.
Wait a minute. But again, Michigan is a football state.
Oh
We
yeah.
show up.
Mhm.
You have these hard people who go week in and week out and spend $150 on beer for 2 of them, and you're supporting that cause.
Mhm.
150
Yep.
bucks. That's it.
Yeah, whatever, being facetious.
But
here.
depends on how much they drink prior to.
Yeah, that's true, but they show up, they tailgate, they go down to Elwoods and they shut everything down, and it's a good time. And then you got the baseball and that going on. It's a blast
Yeah.
down there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
everybody wants it to happen.
Oh hey Rich, cue up the song. April in the D.
No.
Fuck that song. God, I wanted to throw the remote at the TV when that came on every year.
You all right over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
So, can we please stop talking about the Lions, please?
Yes.
Tom, what are you going to talk about next? We got like, I think we got like one. I think we got like one more thing. I'm not going to go into predictions today because I'm not ready for it.
You're not prepared.
I'm not prepared for it.
Okay, let's talk about our Hockey Town Red Wings.
All right. So let me give you my hot take real quick here. So my hot take right now, when it comes to the Detroit Lions, motherfucker,
that would be the Red Wings.
the Detroit Red Wings. We're going to be sellers, obviously, but I think we're going to be the only sellers that we're going to be on is the only sellers that we're going to be the sellers of our 1-year contract.
Right.
So I think that, Ekebald went out with a broken leg. I would not be surprised if Yzerman is on the phone trying to see if he can't pawn off maybe a Stahl or maybe a DeKaiser.
Yeah.
Well,
they already waived him earlier in the season.
Yeah, I mean, so that I don't see that being, outlandish, I guess, if you want to call it that. But I do see them making some moves, but I don't think it's going to be for like player for player. I think that they're going to go and they're going to try to beef up their picks. And let's face it, and we're still in a rebuild. We're still trying to.
The Yzer plan is still.
We're still trying to build through the draft.
Yeah.
So,
which nowadays, I think compared to previous years, when you get drafted in the NHL, it's many years before you would have an opportunity. Yeah. A lot of these kids coming up now they might play a half a year in the minors and they're up. They're that talented.
And my feeling with that is like, and I have mixed feelings about it. Like, okay, so this last draft class, we'll just say, so your number 1 pick overall is playing in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
The second pick overall is playing in the NHL. Third pick overall, not playing in the NHL. So
he was playing in Sweden
and he did get hurt, and then now he's got to have surgery and everything like that. So besides all that and everything like that, I think the Wings are going to be sellers, obviously, because they're not in a position to win anything or make themselves of anything. So I think the guys that they're probably going to shop is they're going to probably shop like a Mark Stahl. They are going to shop Bobby Ryan. I think Bobby Ryan could probably fetch probably, I would say, a 3rd or 4th round pick. And the places, and I even said it on Twitter, because somebody said, hey, trade deadline's coming up. Where do you see your team going? And like that. I'm like, the Wings are sellers.
Mm-hmm.
They
have to be.
And I think that you're going to see Bobby Ryan you're going to see him probably, he's going to go to a contender who needs him. And what's nice about Bobby Ryan is he's cheap. Yeah. He's $1 million contract player. He's cheap. So I think that he's going to be able to be very appealing to some teams who are, maybe a veteran presence away from a cup run or a deep playoff run. So
John Merrill too.
Merrill as well.
That's a cheap
guy.
$750,000.
So I think I'm probably guessing that maybe see Bobby Ryan might be going to maybe a Las Vegas because he's cheap. He's not a big cap hit.
Or Merrill going back to Las Vegas.
Back to Las Vegas. But then I also possibly see Bobby Ryan going to Toronto. A lot of people are speculating Toronto because Toronto, and I'm an Oilers fan. So when you see that Toronto has been fucking kicking Edmonton's ass up and down. When you see Toronto the way they are, they're a solid team as it is, but it's not going to hurt them to say we're going to add a guy. We're going to add a guy, a depth guy, and that's what Bobby Ryan would be on that team as a depth guy. But I would not count him out being sent to the Bruins because the Bruins need a couple
Yeah,
depth
they're right
guys
on the
as
edge.
well,
Yeah.
who are right on the cusp of that as well.
And then the other thing that came out this week with trades within the North Division, players. I guess it was a 14-day quarantine prior to this week. Now it's 7. So
For the North?
So if you're a North team that are looking to pick up a player from a Central Division or an
Yeah.
East Division or a West Division, it's 7 days now. So it's a 7-day quarantine. So you can get the player in a week. He'll be skating for you. So I mean, I think that was going to be a big selling point with a lot of the North teams, saying, I really don't want to give up too much for a player that comes from the Central, because we're not going to have him for 2 weeks. And by the time he gets here, that could make or break. But with that 7 days now, Toronto might be more apt to go after a Bobby Ryan.
I mean, come on, let's face it. The Red Wings are not going to make it to the playoffs.
No,
They're not going to make
anytime
playoffs.
he's building a big picture for the future.
I'm trusting the Iser plan.
He's got 16, 18 picks over the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants more.
I mean,
You give him a couple more. What's he going to do? Think about Tampa. Who's down there?
I mean, yeah. Why would you not want a bunch of picks if you can garner a bunch of picks, and realistically, all you're giving up is these guys that you had gotten in the 1-year contracts
You're
and
not
everything
giving
like
up
that.
much. Not giving up much.
No, you're not. You're not giving up anything, really.
No. And he's got a vision. I think he's got a good plan. And, we want it now, that hockey town thing we talked about earlier, right?
We're like JG Wentworth. It's my money, and I want it
Exactly.
now.
And we were spoiled rotten for so long of being in the playoffs every year. Now there's a couple of years where we got in, but we didn't do much. But, I know earlier shows you talked about some of those memories, right? And all I can remember going through my childhood is Red Wings being in the playoffs. I remember right when they were bad, going through the Demirs and stuff like that before they started getting really good. But we've been fortunate in Michigan and in Detroit to have a playoff team.
You bite your tongue talking about Demirs.
Hey, I liked him. Jacques was a good man. I met him. Name drop.
Oh, let's sound the siren. I met Jock. Oh yeah, where'd you meet him at? Well, I handed him a paper towel in the strip club when I was when I was a bathroom attendant.
I sprayed cologne on his goggles.
I met him and Jimmy Carson. Remember Jimmy Carson?
Oh yeah, Jimmy Carson.
Yeah.
I was at a clinic and my amateur hockey days, ring that bell.
Table for one.
At
Ding, ding, ding,
Plymouth
ding,
Ice
ding.
Arena. They were there. They
The
were there.
The old Plymouth Cultural Center.
Yeah, the cultural center over there. Yep. And they were both there, as guests, a part of the clinic. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, realistically, I think that they're going to be a seller. They're not going to be somebody who's going to hold on. To be honest with you, I would not be surprised if you don't see maybe a Bertuzzi,
A name player.
in
he hasn't-
the discussion. I wouldn't be surprised if you see or hear of a Mantha in there or not. I mean, mind you, this is my speculation whatsoever. Because what I've kind of gauged out of Yzerman is that he is not a guy who he wants to win.
For sure.
So the old regime, like in the Ken Holland and McDad, very loyal to players.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we know because we're still paying those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Your Franzens, you pay a ton of money to Advocator. You pay a ton of money to Helm. You paid a bunch of money to Jimmy Howard. Granted,
But that was the mindset, Rich.
I know.
Think about it.
No, here's the thing: is you will never get me off the fact. You will never, ever. Oh, we lost camera.
Something.
Oh, lost
there
me.
he is. There
Hey,
he is.
Hey, but you're gonna
There's
listen to me
that
now.
smiling
You're gonna
face.
listen to me. You're gonna listen to me. We had a camera die on us, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you will never change my view. I do not believe in long-term contracts in NHL. I think 2 to 3 years. Pay them for what they're gonna do. Don't pay them for what they did.
I agree. I think that goes across all of pro sports, though. I mean, these guys make so much damn money and they perform for a couple of years. They get that big contract. And what do you see? You see dog shit.
Yeah, you see the
Pay that man his
Yeah.
money.
you do,
Look
yeah.
at
Pay 'em.
Miggy. Like we talked
Yeah.
before. They paid Miggy for 3 to 4 years.
Mhm.
And everything after that was just, well, let's hope that they get what they want
Yeah.
in those 3 to 4 years
Hope.
because
That's the thing, pay them for performance.
Mhm.
If they're going to perform year in and year out, pay them.
Yeah.
Structure their contracts that way.
Sure.
Right. And until that really happens, you're going to see these astronomical contracts, not so much in pro hockey, but you look at your basketball and your baseball and your football, stuff like that, you're
Yeah.
going to get it. And, hockey's a little different breed.
That's my kid walking in.
I figured as much.
So hey, we're gonna go up against the clock here. So let's wrap this up. Well, so Sunday we are gonna do
We're going to do
we're gonna talk about a little bit about the Tigers and stuff like that. We'll definitely take a deep dive into the Tigers and the season coming up. Opening day is tomorrow, obviously. Ernie Harwell will be in my heart and my mind tomorrow.
always.
Yep.
The voice of the turtle.
And then next week, Wednesday show, we should be talking about some
Masters. You should be talking about the Masters next week. And you guys
Hey,
aren't
you know
golfers,
what?
are you?
You know what? The thing is, you're a golfer, and you know what? You want to talk about Masters? You come on right on.
I might.
Yeah,
I don't know how you guys don't like that. It's a great tradition.
Look at Tom. Tom's like, yeah, okay.
Like I tell everyone, you play golf? I like to drink beer.
That's what it's all about.
I might get one good shot out of the 115 that I make in a run.
You're doing all right then.
We're also going to have Jeff Churches, who is host of Camp Talk Live.
Oh, yeah.
Here on the iLogic Media Network. So he's going to talk about some highlights of the RV world, camping, some stories about listening to baseball or watching baseball on some of these new fangled RVs, but what it's like out there when you're in the middle of the woods and camping and listening to some baseball or whatever the case may be. So he's going to be coming on live in studio with us, and we're looking forward to that. So with that being said, Derek, thank you for coming on.
Guys, thanks for having me on.
No, man. Thanks for coming out and drinking some beers with us. It was a good time.
Love the show. I can't wait to share it with all of my buddies and hopefully grow the following over at the Easy Speak.
Yes.
We'll take you anytime, man.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Easy Speak at Speakeasy 330. You can catch us every week at ilogicmedia.com, Apple, and Spotify. Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Easy Speak Cast for the latest and up-to-date news. Cheers.